How do you feel about your body right now?
I feel pretty good. Sometimes I don't, just because I'm in a new environment and it's hard to eat, but like most of the time I feel pretty good about it.
Awesome. Are you doing anything to your body, to your appearance?
I'm trying, because before I came to college it was easier to eat better, but now it's difficult. It's difficult with like time to work out and eat well, so I'm trying to kind of get back into a routine.
How do you define beautiful?
I think beauty is pretty relative to who you are. I think that I know everybody can say beauty's inside, inner beauty, feeling wonderful about yourself, and I think that's really true, but there are rarely anyone that really, really feels beauty within themselves without looking outside. And I think that beauty's really just, it is how you feel about yourself, but if you look at yourself and you feel the outside is bad, then you're not going to think you're beautiful, no matter what's inside. So I think it's really just however individuals find it. I would define it as both inside and out, because if you don't feel good inside, you're not going to feel good outside. But when you feel good inside, you're more likely to see yourself in a better light.
What pressures do you feel girls have on a daily basis? Do you guys experience the same pressures?
I think girls have a lot of pressure on a daily basis. I know that I'm smaller person, so when I walk around, there's tons of like tall, beautiful girls around me, and I feel like I have to look up to everyone, and it's hard to feel beautiful when you're surrounded by so many people that are what society, I guess, would define as beautiful, and you aren't exactly the same as them. While I don't think I'm awful or anything, but it's just everyone around you, it sometimes makes you feel not as great. So I think society really pressures you, because if I didn't have the idea that that's what I'm supposed to look like, then I wouldn't feel bad looking around. And I think guys also have kind of issues. Probably more than we would like to think, being girls. I think that guys, I feel like they also feel bad when they go to the gym and see these big buff guys doing all these things that they can't necessarily do. But I don't know, I think they feel just as much pressure, just not as outwardly, yes.
What is your idea of a perfect body and why?
While I do think that a perfect body is a really healthy, fit body, and that's what I want, it's hard to feel perfectly fit and healthy without looking thin and slim, I guess. Like, I feel healthy sometimes. I feel really healthy and fit, but then sometimes I'll, like, look outwardly and I don't feel healthy and fit anymore because of the image that I put with healthy and fit. So while I can be those things, sometimes it's hard to feel that way. I don't know.
When you look in the mirror, are your thoughts generally positive or negative?
It depends on the day, really. I was saying that beauty's kind of inside and outside, and they kind of balance on each other. So if I'm waking up and I'm having like a terrible day, if I look in the mirror, just because everything else is bad, that's going to look bad too. But if I wake up and I'm in a good mood and everything's good, when I look in the mirror, I'm going to feel a lot better. So the inner and outer beauty kind of balances each other, because if you feel crappy on the inside, you're going to feel like you look bad too. So.
If you weigh a lot, does that mean you're fat?
No, I don't think so, because, I mean, I weigh like nothing, but I'm not like grossly thin. It's because I'm small, and bigger people are going to weigh more, and at the same time, there's a healthy weight, there's like a fit, and then there's like a, just generally like a regular, an average person doesn't look like all the skinny people you see everywhere. That's not generally what average people look like. And I feel like when people see the skinny people, they think they weigh like nothing. And if you weigh more than that, you're going to think you're fat, but you're not. It's like an average body weight, I think.
What influences the way you feel about yourself?
A lot of things around me, I think, influence. And I think every single piece of my life, I think, influences how I feel. Like I was saying, with if I feel good about my day, then I feel good about myself. If I feel bad about my day, I feel bad about myself. when I look around the people around me, I can either feel good or bad, and that's an awful thing to say, but if I'm feeling bad about myself and how I look, if I see someone who looks worse, I'm going to feel better. That's really terrible that it's like that, but sometimes it just happens, I guess.
Has a man ever influenced the way you feel about your body, the way you dress?
Well, not in a negative way. Never in a negative way, but being in a healthy relationship, I think, has made me feel better about myself, because you're getting an extra flow of positive feedback and positive energy from someone to make you feel better about yourself. So normally, if you say yes, it's usually negative, but I feel like it can be really positive too.
About yourself after watching TV or reading a magazine?
I think, yeah, probably. It's just like if you're seeing people out on the street that you feel in your own standards look better than you at that moment in your life and how you're feeling, then I think it's the same effect if you see people on TV. Especially because then you think that while the people on the streets, you don't really know their lives, you'll know anything about them. But then people on TV, it's like they get to look good, but they also get to be on TV all the time. So they must have a wonderful life. And they get to be in magazines, and they get to work just looking pretty. And that's how they make money, is looking great. But I think it makes you feel a little worse than just regular people.
Do you feel pressured to be skinny?
Yeah, but no at the same time. Because I know the way that I am, I'm probably never going to be fat no matter what I do. But at the same time, there's times where I don't feel the way that I know that I actually look. So it's like a mental kind of thing where I feel like, yes, I feel pressured to be skinny, but at the same time, it's like, in the back of my head, it's like, what are you talking about? You're actually you're not fat. Like, why are you even thinking about this? But at the same time, it's like, I feel bad, so I'm going to want to feel better. And I think it's like, it's kind of, it's bad to feel bad about yourself, I think. I don't think that's a good thing. But sometimes, if you're feeling down about other things, if you look in the mirror and you feel bad, it's kind of good in a way that it's a motivator to make things better, because after you go and do something that betters yourself in any kind of way, you always feel better about everything else. Like, it's all related together.
If you could change one thing about your physical appearance, what would it be?
I'd probably give myself a little height. I would. I mean, I'm all into embracing my height and thinking that, because I know that it's what makes me myself, but I would kind of, it's like I was saying, I feel like you're prettier. I feel like the people around me are prettier than me, and I feel like when I look around, I feel like a dumpy little kid next to these tall, like, skinny girls walking around that look, I guess, better than me in my head.
Do you have anything else to say about body image, or any advice you'd like to give to people who are insecure about their bodies?
I think that body image is it's not easy to define. I think every single person has a different type of body image. Like, I think that the skinniest people out there, no matter what they say, are going to feel a little bit of pressure on themselves. And I don't think there's a single person that has zero doubt whatsoever that they love themselves completely. I would say just to not let, while you can't completely make those feelings go away, to not let them overwhelm you and not let them bring you down completely. Because if you're in a bad mood, it just makes everything worse and it just brings you down. But if you don't let it and you try and do something about it, no matter what it is that you're doing about it or how big or small it is, it's going to help every single aspect of your life at the time. So if you're feeling sad and then you start feeling big, go do something to fix one of those things and the other one's going to get better. So either way, improving your life at the moment, then it'll help everything and it'll just make you feel better in general.